Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel for another collab between myself and Miles. Today is the start of a new batch of summary collabs. We're going to be discussing all things in terms of latest developments on the show, in terms of the 60th anniversary in this video, Series 14 in another video yet to come. We're going to be discussing some other stuff too, you have to wait and see what that is. And yeah, like I say, today we're just kind of really to begin with sort of taking stock, I think, of all the news and stuff. So we're going to do a proper breakdown of what we think Series 14 will be, and like all the episode numbers and all that stuff, and like what each episode will be and all that kind of stuff. But in terms of other news, so I mean, what have we got that's happened since we last
did
met?
one? Did we have
It's not Series 14?
Not Series 14. I think we had all of the ident teasers.
Murray Gold.
Yes. Yep.
And obviously the actual trailer, the titles.
Did we have anything else?
Doomsday comic has been announced.
We had the Blue Peter competition.
The Blue Peter competition.
And we had Tennant donning the costume again, which I think is what that picture that Georgia posted.
So, hello, I'm the Doctor.
Yes,
Stuff. Yeah.
I don't know what he's on in that video. He is loving life.
Yeah. And likewise for Catherine Tate at the Eurovision thing, you know, when she's doing the announcement.
We were...
Hello, Liverpool!
clinging onto that railing for dear life. Honest to God. Brilliant stuff.
Yes, I guess that's the...
Can I just say as well, I love that she said Allons-y, and the crowd reacted not one iota. It was just dead silence. She went, right, let's get on, Allons-y, and it was just like, you could hear the crickets.
Well, the first version, I didn't watch that bit live, but I saw it afterwards, like it
wasn't like 1 in the morning.
They'd done of like, on the BBC Twitter account, BBC News or whatever, and like literally the way they'd cut it together was like all these cuts, like between each bit. It just made it even more frenetic. Like it was like bam, bam, bam.
Yeah, when you watch it's so awkward. Like she says Allons-y, and I think she's expecting, because she's probably been told, say Allons-y, you know, you're doing all the Doc 2 thing, and then there's just this really bizarre moment when there's nothing, and she's like, should I carry on or should I wait for a laugh or anything?
Yeah. Anyway. But I suppose so. Yeah, because we have some Series 14 news which we'll cover later, I guess. But like, so Murray Gold, probably the earliest thing that we haven't talked about, I suppose.
Yes.
So back, obviously, for the 60th, and we now know for Series 14. So I guess we'll talk about Series 14 stuff later. But in terms of him being back for the 60th, thumbs up from both of us.
100%.
Yeah,
I think,
absolutely.
and I think unanimously, there's been no issue with him being back for the 60th.
Yeah, for that particular part.
I think people agree that, like, just in terms of
because it's his
synergies.
characters, like his character themes and stuff. It was that era.
Could you imagine them characters coming back and not hearing?
And not hearing
things?
like da 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 da. So I mean that's probably the gen on Murray Gold, really. No more goss there. And then so we've had the teasers and then the trailer as well. I put together a thing of like all the footage we've got so far,
including the ident teasers and everything.
I believe this is everything. Yeah, there's quite a lot of it actually.
So I think we've got the most for the Star Beast. Would you say?
Yes, by far. And I think we can kind of predict really how that one's gonna go, sort of vaguely. Like, you know, we start off like with the cold open, I think, of David Tennant, the TARDIS landing in Camden. He comes out, he does that thing, it's like opening the door and he's like, and then he's walking around Camden.
Spaceship in distress.
Yeah, exactly. Like he bumps into
Spaceship in trouble. Sorry.
Bumps into Rose or whatever. Bumps into Don or something
like
that.
I think people were looking at that shot. You know, they're trying to make it look like the one where Donna's holding the stuff. And they're trying to make it look like she's watching the spaceship, but you can see someone moving the boxes, can't you? And I think people worked out that that's like the reveal shot of Donna, basically. Yeah,
well, I think on location, it was the Doctor kind of moving the boxes. So I think that's what it is, maybe, and that's the moment they clock each other for the first time.
Yeah, maybe. I was going to say it looks like one of those moments when he's probably frenetic. Takes the boxes out of the way, and he's like, "Oh my god, it's Donna!" And then runs away.
So, what do you think? What is it with all these like fragile taped boxes? Like, she's got one with all the stuff inside. Yasmin Finney has one. See, I look back on that Yasmin Finney one from the Christmas trailer. You know, where she's got the box and she's like about to turn into her house or whatever. I thought, now in hindsight, beep the meeps in that box. Like she's taking it home in the box.
Now, can I just say before, because obviously now we know officially it's called the Star Beast.
Yes,
it is
an adaptation.
I would say, it's pretty much another adaptation. It's like he was doing with Human Nature and Dalek. You know, it's another take on this kind of adapting an expanded media thing.
Absolutely.
Have you ever experienced the Star Beast before?
No.
So I think I listened to, I think Big Finish released part
Finish
one of the Star Beast that they did an
for
adaptation
free.
of,
I might have
for
that
free.
actually.
Yeah. So
okay.
I'm going to go back and listen to it again because it's been a while. But I think I remember. I think it's obviously it's a character called Shannon
who's the companion.
Yeah, who's essentially the companion.
Isn't she?
Who finds Beep the Meep, but I can't remember how she does it, and I guess that is essentially
right.
What
Yeah. I think people have sort of said that's the role that Yasmin Finney's character will play, where obviously she finds Beep and brings him home or something. I think that is kind of broadly speaking, like, I haven't read it or experienced it, but I think that's broadly speaking what happens. Yeah, Shannon or whatever, someone takes it home, and then the Wrath Warriors like come knocking on the door, whatever, to get Beep back, and then there's the big fight and everything, and I think there's something. So it's like a flashback, isn't there, where it's like, have you seen this, where it's like a flashback to how the Beeps were created? Like, there were this race of cuddly creatures, and then they looked into the heart of a black star or something and turned them evil.
I have heard that,
Yeah, because people have been wondering whether like that, that shot in the trailer
the title sequence,
or the title sequence, or it could be the Black Star.
I think it is the Black Star.
Yeah.
Now, because I think people at first were like, dead set on the main titles, but I think it is. Now that I've seen a screenshot, a shot of the comic,
lackluster, wouldn't it? I think maybe. So there's something as well. So obviously in the teaser, one of the teasers, we had like the unit soldier who'd like got black eyes, like possessed or whatever.
Yeah, so we didn't see that in the actual trailer, did we?
No, there were a couple of it. There was that bit, and then like some of the toy maker stuff, which didn't make it into the final one. You kind of thought they would, but anyway. But yeah, there's something I think in the original Star Beast storyline about. So I think it's like the army rather than unit, and it's like soldiers getting possessed or something by Beep. So it's these things kind of seem to be kind of following that that pattern.
And how much of a deviation are we going to expect? Essentially, I think that's the main thing. Like, is it going to be? Obviously not a straight adaptation because it's the Fourth Doctor. It is also not a post-regeneration Doctor as well.
Yeah.
But this isn't a post-regeneration Doctor either because we've had Liberation of the Daleks set before this as well. So,
okay.
Whether that's going to be addressed, I think there was a line, and I think they might have taken it out. I remember Russell saying that they were going to mention it, but they had to remove it for some reason.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? Am I going mad?
I do remember that. I haven't...
Because when it first happened in Doctor Who magazine, they said something about it.
Yeah, I think I was looking back at everything in Doctor Who magazine. I must have missed that. But yeah, you're right. They definitely did say that.
Yeah.
Because it was like a link to Albion as well, wasn't there? Like, but again, like just like a playful thing, really. Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know. Do you think like it'll be a fairly like standalone story, or do you think it's kind of like? Do you think the toy maker's kind of lurking in the background?
That's my thought. And until you put those together, and I don't think did you think any of the toy maker stuff?
I haven't put him in a special one, but I think he'll.
I'm fairly certain.
I think it'll be like I'm going to draw a lot of kind of comparisons to like Sherlock, because obviously like it's a 3-episode miniseries type thing. Yeah, I think it'd be like that, where you have like Moriarty, whoever, kind of lurking in the background for the first couple of episodes for the first and second series, and then like the third one is like the big kind of showdown thing.
I think I think they know from the footage we've seen of the Giggle. I love that title. We'll talk about that in a sec. It seems like they're aware of him, and obviously the Doctor when he sonics the screen and things. We're jumping ahead a bit again, but it seems like this is it's building to whatever this conclusion is, and I think the fact that you've got him in the Toymaker getup. And the sort of colours of that end shot, when Beep the Meep's in the stash of toys.
Oh, okay. Do you think
part of me thinks that he's in some sort of toy shop.
Well, I thought that, but then I think someone pointed out to me like the other toys and they're like the lights in the background, and we were wondering whether it's like Yasmin Finney's bedroom or something.
Good point. Good point.
Yeah, I did think that to begin with. I was kind of like, oh, is it going to be like one of the toy maker's toys or something, like brought to life or something mad like that? I don't know. That'll be fun.
There's a lot of interesting theories about the toy maker, I have to say.
We've got all that, like
that looks similar light. It's similar kind of lighting,
in the toy shop, and that would like match up with the Mystery Emporium thing. So like, I'm guessing like all the kind of Carpenter stuff, like where he's in the Carpenter getup, takes place in the past. Like all the stuff we saw in Bristol, where it's like back in time with. I don't know if it was like horses and carriages, but like old cars or something, whatever it was, crowds.
And let's not forget that shot of someone walking into
that mystery guest star,
who is apparently that is the person who's still evaded. We have no idea.
Yeah, we don't know who that is, do we?
That's not the
like
2005
or someone.
guest star, is it? Or is that who's going to be in the?
I think they said that was for Christmas, but I mean, who knows? At this stage, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm sort of guessing. Like, we're skipping ahead a bit, aren't we, to the third one? But like, I think there'll be a showdown. There'll be obviously we've got all the stuff. in Bristol where it's like modern day, where he does the dance with the toy maker. The toy maker's like in his top hat and everything.
Finally saw the dance. Is that the first time we've seen them?
I think so.
The
like,
dance
in HD and everything. It's beautiful, isn't it? Wilf is, like
top of his head.
So Wilf's there as well. So he was spot on location, I think. As
why have they kept that still? It's so confusing that they've announced Sylvia, they've announced Sean, but they've not announced.
I
Wilf.
think they're just kind of waiting to like.
Because obviously he's going to be in it.
Yeah, he's in it.
I thought for a second.
People were saying, "Oh, he's been cut out." I didn't really ever believe that myself.
Yeah, I don't think I would have believed that either. Because but I don't know. But the thing is,
but there were rumours, weren't there? Like, did he manage to complete all of the stuff?
Yeah,
I mean, that's possible. That maybe there was stuff he couldn't do.
But evidently not. Because
we knew
he was there.
He was at Camden, and then he was at that street as well. I think at Camden there was like an implication that they push him into the TARDIS or something, maybe. So like maybe he gets to go inside the TARDIS.
I loved that shot. Do you remember those days when we were seeing that all being
it's like
filmed?
a year ago this week.
I know. It's mad, isn't it?
It
feels like only yesterday and ages ago. But like the excitement, and then when we spotted Wilf on location, and there was that footage of them running in the TARDIS, and he was still doing all his. It was still on all cylinders as well. It's fantastic.
But yeah, so we've got all that stuff in modern day London.
Yep.
Like the police thing as well. I don't know whether that's significant or not, but like...
It's funny, actually. That shot happened, and it almost looks like... Because has he got a mohawk or something like that?
It looks like a kind of feather or something.
I instantly thought it was like a fin, like a blowfish fin from...
So you kind of puts me in mind of like the slabs or something, or I don't know whether it's going to be anything.
I mean, it's just part of the general.
It's probably just part of the general stuff, isn't it? Really, but there is like a car chase. I think in one of the other shots, that wide shot there's like a car that it's chasing, like a little green dot there. So I mean, I don't know.
Interesting.
It could just be part of the general stuff going on. But yeah, like we see like the doctor's there. He seems to like register the toy maker and do the dance and stuff. Donna's there as well, just watching on.
So do we think that's what was going to open the episode?
Could be, maybe.
Like in a way,
I would expect that to come fairly early on, and then I think that maybe they'll then go back in time to Mr. Emporium. Like where the TARDIS landed there, they'll go there. I don't know what that building is, but they'll end up in the toy shop. They'll have a showdown there. We've got all the stuff with like the worldwide premiere and all that kind of stuff.
Forget about that.
I want to say that puppets are going to feature because. Didn't Russell say like the path to the 15th Doctor is laden with load of like buzzwords that are pretty generic, and like also I think robots and puppets. So
robots maybe
isn't there a
warriors and things, and then puppets as in I'm guessing you've heard that theory as well.
Yeah, well
we'll talk about that I suppose.
Yeah, are they robots?
I don't know actually. I mean they look robotic.
They could be. So I think Tom Kingsley, the second director, the second special.
Did he say he was doing robots?
I think he said he'd filmed something with a robot.
See what
as well.
This
so maybe
is
that can be a different thing. But
just about the overall structure. I think we're going to get the Star Beast kind of story with the toy maker kind of on the fringes.
Yes,
they'll sort out all the beep the meep stuff, package it off. That's fine, sorted. And then suddenly, when it all thinks day's saved.
Yeah.
Either the Doctor and Donna go off and then meet the toy maker, or the toy maker then does something which then leads to Wild Blue Yonder.
Stuck
in this situation.
Kind of middle chapter. That sort of thing.
Which we'll talk about again.
Yeah.
But they find their way out of this situation. Sidestep. They get back to the present day, and there's all this crap going on. The toy maker's taken over, and then they have to go and fix it. Yeah, so that's my sort of rough thought about how it's going to lay.
I think. Because I wonder, like, the more we hear about, like, Donna and the memories and stuff, I kind of wonder, like, I think that's going to play a pretty big part. I think, like, maybe they will really milk that in terms of not having her remember, like, so she sees the Doctor in the first special or whatever, like, why did this face come back? She sort of knows, but it doesn't actually hit her until, like, maybe the cliffhanger or so. I don't know. Like maybe I guess that'd be sort of in the vein of like End of Time Part 1, wouldn't it? But like maybe they'll really kind of hold that moment off, like for the dramatic tension and stuff, and also to kind of see like maybe you end the episode the cliffhanger and she's like remembering it's like, oh God, like what happens now? I guess that would be kind of a redux of like End of Time, wouldn't it? Like
it's interesting to see how it does play into it. Unless the toy maker's done something which means that she does remember and it's fine.
I think it will be a case of her sort of maybe slightly remembering, and then it'll kind of reach that crunch point. I don't know how that would work. I mean, then maybe the second special will play into that, because maybe the second special is like how do we save Donna, or do you know what I mean? Something like, or maybe like we go to the centre of her mind or something.
Well, should we talk about the second special, because that seems to be the one that people really we've been kept in the dark the most about. It seems to be a very set based episode.
We've got like 4 shots from it or something, haven't we?
We've literally and most of those coming from the trailer.
Yeah, so they're in some kind of spaceship. There's redacted graphics on top of it. There's one where they're like on the floor, kind of like witnessing something, like some explosion or something.
There's one of them, the Doctor.
Yeah, sort of like
fending off it, something like that. I don't want to. We were talking about this over Messenger, weren't we? So we were sort of saying like, there's no point in getting too hyped up, as if like
other characters or returns and stuff.
But it does make me think.
Oh yeah,
there must be a reason why they've done this
totally
all
possible,
this redacted stuff.
Yeah.
Because you're kind of
yeah,
you know what you're doing.
Playing along,
they know what they're doing,
right?
Yeah. Rather than just being like, this is another midnight, a sort of bottle episode. I don't think they'd do all that stuff if it was for something like that. But like we were saying, I think it is going to be, whatever it is, a more of a character piece between the two of them.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that we're going to maybe like shed all the other like the other characters, like the noble Temple family, like we're going to say like leave them behind for a bit, and then like have like you said, like a chamber piece, or I'm almost kind of like getting a sense of maybe like a 2-hand. I don't suppose it will be a 2-hander.
That's the thing.
That's the vibe.
That's the vibe.
That kind of...
But the redacted stuff does make me think you wouldn't do that unless there was something that you were kind of going, oh, you're going to want to see this.
That's true, isn't it? And like, I to have like a whole hour where it's just the two of them, like great as they are, and like I suppose like how expensive that would be as well.
And also Tom Kingsley, like, would you get him in for something like that? You know.
Yeah, because I think you made a comment about like, in that interview with the 3 directors, there was a comment like about how the first one was like traditional Family Who, and then we kind of open up the whatever, and like we kind of go.
It's definitely going to be squiffy and weird. That second one, I kind of know that because I think from what from what he's said, he's been like, this is I looked at the script and I was like, God,
yes,
how do I do this?
I'm sure.
So I think he wouldn't look at a script that's just them stuck on a spaceship. I'm sure he'd be like, oh, how am I going to do that?
That like it was either him or Chanya Button for the 3rd special who said like, I turned the page and there was like a different environment on each page or something. And I was like, like every single page there was something new, and it was just like wacky. Like,
what if that's
bang, bang, bang?
What if the shots we've seen are just the pre-titles?
It's possible, isn't it? It's it's totally possible.
Unless we forget, when are we going to get it addressed? Why the 14th Doctor looks like the 10th Doctor? There's a reason for it.
That's my thinking. Where like I was saying about Donna, maybe like in terms of how Donna gets her memories back, or how that's sort of fixed or worked out, and then also like you say with the Doctor, I'm feeling that's maybe all going to kind of get addressed in that middle chapter, and then like you've sorted all that out by the end of it. And then you have your finale, your big showdown, whatever. Yeah. That's the vibe I'm getting. Another thing to throw in as well, I'm just thinking about this in terms of how they might kind of hold things back. So like things like the new TARDIS.
Yep.
We know.
Yes, I was thinking that as we were getting this out, and I opened the doors and I saw Jodie's inside, and I was like, how are they going to do that?
See. A lot of the comments they've made have been about how the set wasn't ready until near the end of production.
Right.
A similar sort of thing I think like happened with the Series 7B TARDIS, I think.
Okay.
And the vibe I'm getting maybe is that like we're not going to see it in the first special. Maybe I don't know whether I'm just thinking too much in terms of like Ghost Monument or anything, but like maybe they'll hold off that moment of the reveal. Do you know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean.
Maybe like in the second special, maybe it's like, I don't know, like something wacky, like the TARDIS kind of putting itself back together, or like they're kind of a journey to the centre of the TARDIS type thing. But
that's true.
But better. But like,
who knows? Is it the TARDIS that they're in?
Is it the TARDIS? Is it like maybe they're going through the TARDIS, they're going through like old console rooms, although then again we've seen like the 60th one so many times by this point. But like something like
hence
that.
Hence the regeneration kind of.
Where it kind of allows you to kind of do wacky stuff, like if you're inside the TARDIS.
It's reconfiguring itself.
That reconfiguring. That's the kind of another kind of idea I had, and then maybe maybe then you reach the end of that episode and you get like the new console room or whatever, control room, whatever. that's just another thing that kind of occurred to me. And also, we've got Unit in this as well. We've got Shirley Ann Bingham, Ruth Madley's character.
Yeah, where does she place in all this? Cause...
See, I guess like we're pretty certain that like that room we've glimpsed is
a unit
HQ standing set, probably for the spin-off, whatever. They've got their money's worth there. It's probably still there now, and who knows? But like,
Torchwood Hub.
Did you see how? Yeah, exactly. Did you see how like so in that shot of Donna from the Christmas trailer, it's the same window,
room. Yes,
same room. That as well. Like, I think that's got to be Unit. Like, where
because who is he talking to when he goes? If she ever,
I think that is her.
Her head will blow up.
But there's some people said like Wilf maybe because like he kind of like knelt down, so it makes sense for it to be someone in a wheelchair or whatever.
But he's talking to them very sternly, and I think if you were talking to Wilf, you'd be like,
yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I think it's her. I think.
Yeah, but then why would she? Very strange. Very strange. Because she's playing what do they call it? A pivotal role in the Hooniverse. In the Hooniverse.
Yeah. Well, I think like maybe a new kind of Unit character, but then how does that fit in with Kate? I mean, I don't really get the feeling that Kate's going to be in this.
No, Kate. I will put money on the fact that Kate's not going to be in this anniversary.
But then it's kind of a bit weird that she's coming back later. Maybe she's off on leave or something.
Well, but I mean, didn't she essentially? She was on the run from Unit in Flux, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Oh no, but then she was back in.
And they've had so many HQs by this point.
Yeah. Well, that one blew up in Paradox.
They had the restaurant, and they had the nice new one, and that blew up, and then they've got this new one instead. I kind of get the vibe. Like, I think people can suggest that maybe like in the first special, he'll like. One of the first things he does is like go off to Unit to kind of I don't know, or maybe he sees Donna in Camden, then he goes off to Unit and he's like, if she ever remembers me, she will die. Help me out here, whatever.
Because there's a lot of shots
about the mystery of his face as well. Like, help me out.
Because obviously there's a reprieve. It's not like they meet each other and then they're on this adventure. Because we've got shots of her talking, saying, "Why has his face come back?" There's a nice shot of her looking mournfully into the distance as she closes the door. I think we're going to get a lot of that.
Oh before. There'll be like an initial meeting, and then they'll go their separate ways. She'll go home. She'll be like talking to Sylvia or whatever. Yeah, like she'll be talking to Sylvia at the same time. Like Rose will be out finding Beat the Meat with a friend, and then taking him home, and then the Doctor will find his way to Donna's Road.
Do you think he'll bring Unit with him?
They'll keep bumping into each other.
Because hence we've got all the fight scene on the street, the cars blowing up.
Could be. Maybe he goes off to Unit, and then
and maybe that's why he's talking to. Ruth Madley's character and basically being like, we've got to be careful because if she remembers me, then we're screwed.
Yeah, that's
so they're like, we've got to go in and be very careful.
Yeah, I suppose obviously we know that Unit's going to feature in the first one, don't we? Because we've seen all that set piece and stuff. So I think that standing set of like the Unit base will also feature in the first one as well. I think that'll be maybe not so much in the second, but I think that'll be a feature of the first and third. Sort of beyond that, really. I mean, obviously we're all still assuming that Neil Patrick Harris is the toy maker until proved otherwise.
Whatever happens, I love what I've seen of him so far. He's got such a good energy.
There's just something kind of magnetic about those shots where he's like dancing, and it's just.
Or the American Beauty one where he's in the roses and he's throwing them in the air. It's. I
mean, what is going on there? Like, what is that all about?
Yeah,
maybe he'll like be in the second one as well, kind of doing like wacky stuff.
Well, that's what I think. I think he's kind of the presence
in the toy room, or in some other realm.
Just some sort of on the fringes in the first.
Yeah.
Sort of starting to come into the frame. Maybe he's done something to the TARDIS, and he's like, "Find your way out of this one, Doctor." And while that's all happening, he's messing up with Earth and. What do we think of the titles? Just
the titles
briefly as well. I mean, obviously the Star Beast is kind of.
Yeah, I mean,
it's just it's a great title.
It is a great title.
It's so retro.
So
it's so retro and cool. I love it.
It's great. They're kind of going with that. Wild Blue Yonder, obviously a lot more kind of cryptic. But great as well.
Mm-hmm. And the Giggle, which seems to be the most controversial one.
I like it. What can I say? It's fun, isn't it?
It's very Russell.
Yeah.
Russell.
Did you see as well? I did a tweet the other day, like where I'd kind of noticed that obviously that quote from the end of Years and Years, where it's like, beware the tricksters and the clowns, they will laugh us into hell. Like maybe we're literally seeing that, like they will laugh us into hell. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like maybe
it's his political sort of comment.
Because it's got to be in there. Like we've had it in Years and Years. We had like Maggie Thatcher in It's a Sin. Like, and obviously we've got like, the politician guy coming up in series 14. So I wouldn't be surprised if like that's kind of the angle.
That's what's brought into
like not that he is a literally a politician or whatever, but like we've kind of got like he kind of represents all that stuff maybe
madness,
somehow.
Yeah.
I think so. And some like contagious giggle or laughter or disease, whatever.
And there's this whole the ventriloquist puppet that we see on the screen.
To do with the first ever TV broadcast.
The first ever TV broadcast, and I forget the name of the puppet. I think it was something Bill, Spooky Bill or Stooky Bill or something like that.
Yeah.
At a time when people thought that was absolutely fine. Like, who would think we're going to do the first ever television broadcast and we're not going to broadcast a human face, we're going to broadcast this nightmare-inducing thing. But they've done a hell of a good job at recreating it. If you've seen...
Yeah, the side-by-side
yeah,
thing.
they did a recreation of it in the 90s, and there's an older version. But that's basically dead set. Like, I think that's exactly what it is.
That sounds
about
puppets
right, as well,
Yes, exactly. Yeah, it makes sense, doesn't it?
Dummies and all that sort of stuff freak me out to no end. I think dummies and puppets and things are just terrifying. So yeah, I'm very excited to see how terrifying, scary all that's going to be. Whether he placed a giggle in that first broadcast and they have to go back fun, and stop it from happening, or what? I don't know. Very interesting.
Because wasn't someone pointed out, didn't they, that there was a poster on set, I think, that was 1925, and that was the year. That would make a lot of sense. They go back in time to try and fix it or whatever.
Maybe we'll meet John Logie Baird, who did the broad. He was the one.
Oh, he's the one who did it.
And funnily enough, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, but have you seen Nolly?
I haven't yet. No, I need to get around to it.
It starts with a flashback because I think Gordon, I think it's Gordon.
Yeah, I think so.
She was one of the first kind of people used for like test footage or something like that.
Okay,
and John Logie Baird features in this flashback scene.
Well, there we go.
So maybe Russell was like,
on it,
maybe he was doing research into all that for Noel Gordon, and he was like, oh my god, well, there we go.
Yeah, that makes sense. Really, that'd be super.
Check out Nolly. It's great as well.
Yeah, I've heard it's
just fantastic
things. Yeah,
it's Russell Davis. So.
And Murray as well, isn't it, doing a score? I think.
Is it Blair Mower?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's one of the only things I know that Russell hasn't worked with Murray Gold on. But yes, so there you go. Very exciting. The more I think about it, the more excited I am. And, of course, there are people who are still, obviously, mourning the loss of Jodie's Doctor, as you always do.
Yeah.
There's people who aren't as excited, and if they've got their reasons, that's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
Personally, though, I'm so excited. Sure. It's kind of like the stuff we've seen in those trailers is basically like you kind of know this stuff already, so we're going to show you it in full.
Yes.
And in a way that's very clever because it's kind of it makes us feel like we're seeing something new, and yet also they're still able to keep something back.
Yeah.
It's just very clever marketing.
Just quickly as well. I mean, how much do we think they're holding back? Like we've kind of touched on it already, but like in terms of other returning characters or cameos or doctors and things, like just on the table, like what do we think? Like, are we thinking anything at all?
Okay, I think in terms of the Star Beast, I think that's going to be straightforward. There's going to be nothing.
No other
we've pretty much seen everything that we're going to see.
But what about Mel? Maybe if she's back.
Mel.
If she's back.
What was that line that we heard Catherine say in the TARDIS? She was like, "What about Mel?"
Yeah. Other than then again, I suppose is that because that would be from the third special. I suppose that scene, but like. Yeah, if she is involved, if she's like part of UNIT.
Are you seriously putting Mel Bush on the table and saying that she will be... Okay, I mean, fair,
maybe not in the first one, but like there are the rumours. So
I mean, there's obviously been... let's talk about the bow-tied Quiff.
Well, exactly. He's been here all along, hasn't he?
What? Where? Why? How? What?
See, I just... Yeah, I see people saying, like his... Like the second special will be like Matt Smith or whatever. I don't really see it. I mean, I see like the workings, like how you got to that point, like in terms of Russell saying, "Oh, let's do like a 10th and 11th Doctor miniseries or whatever, like spin-off thing, or let's like Matt's like showed interest in returning." So it kind of wouldn't surprise me, but I just think that like people kind of are clowning a bit really with that one.
It does seem like if you're going to do that,
like how would he fit into it? How, you know what I mean? Unless it was like a really weird like dream or like mind palace thing, like where it gives you license to just have whoever you want, like with no rhyme or reason. Like, oh, here's a cameo from whoever,
almost Dimensions in Time-esque, where like if they were stuck in this sort of realm where the Doctor and Donna were flicking between previous or
something
future
like that, or
incarnation,
bumping into each, whatever. Like, that. I mean, it is possible. But
I think don't know. It'd be all or nothing, really. And if Capaldi's not really as keen to come back, Jodie's only just bloody left. It's kind of like Smith would be the only one.
To have him by himself would be
so weird. You'd want to have all of them back to do whatever you're going to do. I mean, we're going to watch this back in 6 months' time and be like, look at those idiots saying that Matt Smith wasn't going to come back, and there he was.
They could pull like a Power of the Doctor type thing. I mean, But yeah, I think you're right. I think they'd either have to have all of them or nothing, really.
Yeah, I just want to manage expectations because it's kind of when people you get this a lot with Marvel films. There was a Doctor Strange film where for some reason everyone was like, so-and-so's coming back, they're all coming back, there's going to be this massive film, and then some people did come back, but they left the cinema thinking, oh, I thought there was going to be so-and-so was going to come back, so-and-so. Right. And it's like, but if you didn't go into that expecting that, then you wouldn't have come out being disappointed. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, we really need to manage that before we go into it, and then automatically go, well, it didn't have Matt Smith in it, therefore it was...
Yeah, definitely with you on that. I just think, like, if he is, it'll be a bonus, but I'm not kind of I'm personally at the moment not kind of thinking or going to go into it thinking like, where is he? Like, hasn't turned up. Where?
You've seen all them shots, like the redacted shots, and people like doing outlines and just
God,
like
stupid.
My eyes hurt.
It's so stupid. Oh my god.
When coming back?
But I'm sure some of those redacted shots anyway, like you look at them and it is just Donna or whatever.
Pretty certain.
So it's like, you see one where it's like, oh, it's Davros, or it's a Dalek.
Yes,
Then that could, even if it was, it could.
Paradigm Dalek, wasn't it? Something like that. Was something like it was like a strategist Dalek. Or something like that.
I don't know.
I mean, whatever happens, people are still talking about the show, and I have to say as well, in terms of all this stuff, it's really got people talking because people at work. Who are like, just like talking to me about it, and they're like, "I really can't wait for it. I'm really excited to see David Tennant back." And they're like, "Oh, I'll come back for the David Tennant stuff, and then maybe I'll see." And I'm like, "You'll come back for it, and then you will want to stay for Ncuti Gatwa. There's no way that you're not going to want to. You're not going to see Ncuti Gatwa going, 'What the hell is going on here?' and go, 'I don't want to watch that.' That is." It's going to be really good stuff.
Mentioned him so far. That's
another thing. I totally forget. He's going to be in it. Not just I imagine in the regeneration scene because
he'll be in the second one.
Why would Tennant start stripping and then just have his shirt open, his tie undone, then regenerate, and then they're shooting? Do you want to know
one theory I did have?
Okay, go on.
Which I haven't.
Is this what we're going to bombshell and leave it on, or?
Yeah, I guess so. Like, so. Okay, this is a real stretch, but like in the big shot with the ventriloquist dummy where he's pointing the Sonic at the screen and everything, I was like looking at the backs of heads like of people at the desks and stuff. I saw like the back of a head that like it could have been Ncuti Gatwa. I looked slightly close and I think it's actually a woman, but like it suddenly occurred to me like, what if he's in the 60th but as a different character, and it's like a thing of the Doctor getting that face like with Capaldi or with Colin Baker from a different character. Like how cool would that be to have him there but not, like to have him there, and maybe that's like where that line comes from, like what the hell's going on here or whatever. Like maybe that's the Doctor kind of registering that they've got that face, or maybe that's not even the Doctor. I mean, I don't know. Do
you think that shot's from Wild Blue Yonder?
It would make sense with like the background thing, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I think he will be
that's
in the second one.
my one I'm going to put down on that. I think that shot's not from The Giggle. I think it's from Wild Blue Yonder.
I think that's fairly safe. Yeah. I'm not sure we'd see him in the first one, but I think definitely in the second if we're going to go wacky and stuff. And there've been like all those like leaks of like, seen like the green screen with like Matt Smith.
Yes.
I mean, like obviously they're all fake, but then again, like actually if there was something like that happening, it wouldn't surprise me. Like, I'm sure there was like a leak or a rumour that there was like, oh god, like, on a closed set there was the TARDIS, there was like David Tennant, Catherine Tate, Bonnie Langford, someone in a wheelchair, probably Ruth Medley or whatever, or Wilford and Ncuti, and like they're all like having a little conversation or something.
This was a leak.
I think like back when filming was going on, I think someone said that like before we knew about Ruth Medley's character.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure. But then again, I think she was maybe rumoured, but not properly. I don't know.
I don't think she. I can't think of her being.
I think there'd been whisperings, maybe. But
I think there was rumours of her possibly being like a companion
involved.
Or something like that.
Yeah, like being involved in some way. I think because of the connection with Russell.
Yes, exactly.
So yeah, I'll leave that one there. I don't know. It could be rubbish, but that would be pretty cool to see him, because that would be a nice way to include him without having to file a criminal.
That's the thing, and I kind of, that's my only kind of like, it's just, I really want to make sure that Ncuti's first proper appearance is kind of preserved and gives him a chance to be kind of like, to stamp his mark on it properly.
Yeah, you don't want it to kind of feel like diluted, do you? You want to kind of feel like, he's here, and
I'm sure it will be done in whatever way it is done. I'm sure it will be done in a very sensitive and very well done way, but I just, that's my only kind of like, let's just really make sure that he's done. He's given that proper chance to shine, but it's unprecedented. This is unlike anything in the show before. And
two doctors at once almost. Isn't it?
It's so strange. This feels like both familiar territory and totally unknown. Yeah. It's the wild blue yonder. We have no idea. There you go.
Well, on that bombshell, let us know all your thoughts, theories, speculation down in the comments below. It'll be funny watching this back like in 6 months and just...
I can't wait to watch these videos back and be just like... there's me laughing about Bonnie Langford popping up and she's now going to front a unit spin-off or something like that.
Oh boy.
Exciting stuff.
Yeah, I suppose we'll probably get some more stuff at Comic-Con maybe. So
they've said that they want to do that.
Yeah.
Bear in mind, just before... I know we keep saying we're going to finish, but bear in mind, Russell said, he was like, we're going to sort of coast for a while. This is going to be quite a quiet month. So we're only going to put out these ident teasers and a Eurovision trailer, and Murray Gold's coming back and everything. Yeah. This is quiet.
Well, it was a little bit quiet before. I think the first.
Was it talking about?
But then,
April, or
then we had like Jinx, and then there was a bit of a gap, and then
because the impression I got was that he was like, until potentially Comic Con. There's going to be nothing. There's going to be very little, but we'll do our best.
Yeah, they've been feeding us bit by bit, haven't they? And then obviously, it's kind of ramped up. So who knows what's next?
Who knows?
We'll be covering it, whatever it is. So let us know your thoughts, feelings, opinions.
Yes.
And we'll see you very soon for, I suppose the next one will be like the Series 14. Big...
breaking down the whole series.
Yeah, with some semi-exclusives in terms of what we've worked out. Have we got it sussed in terms of which episode is which? Stay tuned. So thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you then.
Bye-bye. Bye.